if you're not already, you can go ahead and bring your body into a comfortable posture, however that's best for the needs of your body. You can feel free to sit or stand or lie down. You can sit on a chair or on the ground or on a cushion. It's generally good not to slouch too much. Um, if you can, lengthen up through your spine in a balanced and unrestrained way. One teacher I learned from taught that you can kind of rock back and forth, side to side, and front to back to kind of find that center column of balance for you. But again, just not strained, and just so your head, neck, and chest and your hips are roughly in alignment. And you can keep your eyes open or closed, whatever is comfortable for you. And we can begin by just becoming aware of how this moment feels. Just in a general sense, noticing whether for you it feels pleasant, unpleasant, or neutral. And however it is okay. Maybe just for right now, we can offer a sense of allowing it to be however it is. And just noticing if it's pleasant, unpleasant, or neutral. And then we can begin by shifting our attention out of story mode and thinking mind, and letting our attention come to rest on the breath. Wherever you feel it most clearly, you can notice it in your belly or in your chest or the tip of your nose, maybe a little bit in the throat. You can also choose a different anchor, such as the feet, or just noticing the whole body as it breathes and rests in space. And just noticing each breath as it passes in and out, and the pauses in between. If there are any obvious places you might be holding tension, notice if that feels unpleasant or maybe it's neutral. It's fine to intentionally relax this if you're able to, or you might just be with it and breathe with it for a moment. When we acknowledge what is unpleasant, we are kind of mentally bowing to what is here and acknowledging it with a kind attention. You can even offer a kind phrase Like, can I be with this? Or this also belongs? Or feel free to adapt a phrase that feels welcoming and inviting for you. You might just notice if the feeling tone changed at all. Maybe the sensation isn't so different, but perhaps there is more ease with it. Or if something was feeling unpleasant, maybe it's not as unpleasant, or it might have shifted to pleasant or neutral. Just notice any change, or if it's the same, acknowledge that too. And then just come back to the breath or the body resting in space. And just noticing each breath amid the passing waves of experience. And we can just check in again. Do things generally feel pleasant, unpleasant, or neutral? And then just coming back to the breath or the body. And we'll start to investigate the body by checking to see where things feel pleasant. Maybe for you that's the breath, or maybe it's pleasant to feel your hands or bring attention down to your feet, or noticing sounds as they come and go. Just noticing if anything feels pleasant for you right now in the body. If it's difficult to recognize or if nothing feels pleasant, that's okay. Just see if you can invite a sense of allowing. And come back to the breath or the whole body resting in space. If you become distracted by a thought of some kind, that's okay. We can just notice, was it pleasant, unpleasant, or a neutral thought? Did it change how you were feeling before the thought? And we can notice the open space that is still present after the thought subsides. And just come back again to the breath or the body breathing. And now, if it's okay for you, just noticing if anything is feeling unpleasant in the body. This could be a specific body part or a particular sensation that feels unpleasant or a little overwhelming. Maybe there's a physical sensation that you can name, such as tightness or pressure, cold or hot. Maybe something feels sharp. And you can just check to see if this is affecting your mood at all. Is your mood pleasant, unpleasant, or neutral? And then coming back to the sensations, just noticing and acknowledging if there is a sensation in the body that feels unpleasant. And now you might intentionally direct your attention to another spot in the body that feels pleasant. You can pick a spot that is far away from what feels unpleasant. So if my forehead feels unpleasant, I might direct my attention down to my feet, or vice versa. Or if my left hand feels unpleasant, I might begin to notice my right hand. And now, if it's okay for you, bringing your attention back to what feels unpleasant. Noticing our breath has never left us, it's still in the background as we notice what's unpleasant. And if it still feels difficult, we can practice in this way, moving back and forth between what feels pleasant and unpleasant. Or we can also practice sensing the wider area around the unpleasant sensation. So you can begin practicing this as well if you like by just sensing the feeling in the space around the sensation, or just noticing the whole body around what feels difficult or unpleasant. And sensing the space around unpleasant sensations, it's kind of like adding more water to the spoonful of salt, causing it to be less salty. In practicing this way, we're learning to be with what feels difficult rather than making attempts to escape it. And shifting our attention to neutral sensations. So if you can, notice the parts of your body that you haven't yet acknowledged. Maybe the sensations are faint and difficult to notice. And we can just practice being aware of the spots of our body or the parts of our body that we're ignoring. And now you might bring your attention to the whole body and just notice whether things feel overall pleasant, unpleasant, or neutral. If we are sleepy or bored, we may be caught in unpleasant or neutral, leaving us a little tuned out, ignoring what is here or pushing it away. We can be skillful in this way by sitting up a little straighter or opening our eyes if that's helpful. Or if meditating feels good, pleasant, or we feel relaxed, it might have us feeling like we don't want it to end. And keeping our breath in the background, noticing however things feel right now, we can just acknowledge it mentally bow to it and see if you can let it be however it is for right now. And just coming back to the breath, moving in and out, or sensing the whole body breathing and resting in space. You can let your breath be however it is. If it's long, let it be long. If it's short, let it be short. And just notice if it changes. If it's short, is it unpleasant? If it's long, is it pleasant? And we can check in again, seeing how things feel in this moment. So checking our thoughts, our emotions, our mental state, seeing whether they are pleasant, unpleasant, or neutral, and just acknowledging their presence however they are. Inviting a sense of allowing them to be here as they are. And now investigating the body to see where and how that might be showing up for us in our body. So noticing the breath in the background. See if you can locate any spots in the body that might be linked to these thoughts, emotions, or moods. And if anything feels particularly unpleasant, you might just rest your attention there if it feels okay for you. If not, that's okay too. And just staying with these sensations, noticing the breath in the background. See if you can invite a sense of allowing and accepting whatever is here for you. If you need help inviting a sense of kindness for yourself and what's here, you can imagine how you might feel towards a wounded or hurt animal or a small child. Just a sense that you can hold space for what is unpleasant for them. feeling a sense of care. And then just come back to the sensations and mood that might be present, seeing if you can offer that sense of presence for yourself. And now for these last few minutes, you can just begin again by coming back to the breath, moving in and out, and sensing the pauses in between, where you can sense your whole body breathing in and out, resting in space. And if you get distracted, just notice what your attention is on. Notice if it changed the feeling tone at all. Notice the space that's here as you return attention to the breath or the whole body. And as we bring this time of meditation to a close, you might just offer a sense of gratitude for taking this time to practice. Just feeling a sense of gratitude for yourself and your practice. If it feels comfortable, you can even let yourself gently smile, even just slightly at the edges of your mouth. Or you can evoke the sense of a smile in your mind and notice if that shifts you into feeling a sense of things feeling pleasant at all. Sensing your profound capacity to be present in the midst of constant change and the shifting waves of feelings and sensations. And just allowing this sense of presence and awareness to continue into the remainder of our time together and into the rest of our day.